Okay, it's John Black, Super Chemist, JBSC, uh, back here. I was telling about the Pastafarian, is okay with gay people. We don't care. Uh, they can marry whoever they want. Woke people have the same opinion, I think. The Christians, they actually didn't even believe gays existed. Remember, back they were trying to get gay marriage. They didn't even want to admit that they existed. Number one, which is stupid. I mean, because everyone knows gay people exist. They've existed since the beginning of time, man. And also, I wanted to bring up that all mammals, about 10% of probably been about 2 and 10% of all mammals are gay. Believe it or not. Okay. And you wouldn't know because have all the dogs separated or whatever, you know what I mean? But every once in a while you can see be a gay dog trying to hump another boy dog. But it's all prevalent throughout all mammals. We're all similar, very much, mammals. So anyways, they were against, Christians against marriage. They also teach being gay is evil, and you go to hell if you do anything gay. You go straight to hell, man. Even if you're the greatest person in the world, even if you're, Christian and you believe in God and you worship Him every day, go to church all the time, help people out. You're like Mother Teresa. It don't matter. You go straight to hell. That's how evil being gay is. Okay, that's how evil it is. You go no matter what, and you don't go to hell for, billion, trillion, zillion years, not a Googleplex amount of years. I'm talking like for infinity, for eternity. That's how evil being gay is, man. I mean, according to the Christian God. Um, like I said, now most Christians are like, well, we don't care. You can do whatever you want, uh, which is okay. I could deal with that. That's okay. It's not right because their God is a racist. You know what I mean? Their God is actually a racist. So that's not cool, right? That's not cool at all, man. Uh, Pastafarian God isn't. He isn't like that. Okay, and only 10. This is just an FYI. This is off the subject, kind of. Only 10% of, and I'm just guessing on this. Now I don't know if it's 10% or what, but only about 10% of gay people act gay. Okay, but both woke and Christians always stereotype them. Always, always. They always have to be flamboyant and that stereotypical type of gay man that you see, or that stereotypical uh, female, the bull dyke type, you know, never a lipstick lesbian, never, it's always that stereotype that they pick because they're racist. That's how they are. That's how they do it. Uh, most gay people, and you don't even know they're gay because they just act regular, just like everybody else. You know what I mean? But you pick out that stereotype. See, Pastafarians don't do that. Pastafarians realize that that's just a stereotype. That is not the way gay people act. The 90% of them act just like everybody else. Only 10% act different. Okay? Only 10%. That's it. But Christian, doesn't even, and even the woke people that love the gays and the lesbians and all of this and that, even they always stereotype these gay people into those two categories. If you're a woman and you're gay, you're dyke, or a bull dyke. If you're uh, male and you're gay, you're flamboyant. Always, every time. So now we're going to get into the trans stuff, okay? Like I said, the LGBTQ whatever organization does not represent the community. It represents communism, okay? Just because their name is that doesn't mean that it's like BLM. BLM was about communism. It was started by three self-proclaimed long life communists who fought for communism their entire lives up until BLM. And then all of a sudden, what? It's not about communism, really? They've dedicated their entire lives to communism, but no, it wasn't about. It was about black people because they named their thing black. Hey, if the KKK changed your name to "We Love Black People," does that make them okay? No, it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't matter if their name is "We Love Black People." The KKK still sucks. All right, I'm telling you. All right, let me see here. No, I got plenty of time. All right, so where was I at? So the trans. I got something about the trans. All right, so we're always going to use male example that's trying to transition into a female, which would be a trans woman, right? So there have been some tests, right? And also with that last test where they were saying, I was saying they put electrodes on their heart and their lungs and their fingers and their genitals. I'm sure that, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm very sure that they moved on, because that was back in like the 70s, man. I'm sure they moved on to using like MRIs or whatever they call that thing that they put and they scan your brain, you know what I mean? I'm sure they use those, and then they show them pornographic material and see what they respond to. They respond to the gay porn? Do they respond to the straight porn? Both porns? You know. I also wanted to bring up too is that if you are bisexual, that means you're gay, okay? And that also means you're straight. You're both. That's what bi means, you morons. Bi means that there's two, like a bicycle. That's a sickle or cycle that has two wheels, just like a unicycle has a cycle that one wheel. Bi means two, just like biracial. I hate that when people say that. Like I seen this one thing about this guy on a thing, and he was saying, yeah, well, that golfer, who was it, Tiger Woods, that he was black. And the guy says, no, he isn't black. He isn't black. And he says, yeah, he is. What are you talking about? And he said, oh, you're just saying that because one drop of black blood means you're all black. And that isn't even what the guy was saying. Because I was thinking he's black too. But I was also thinking he's white. I wasn't thinking, oh, he's only black because he's got one drop of blood of black. He's got to be all black. Oh, yeah. No, I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking he's black and he's white because he's biracial. That, by definition, that means there's two racial races, two races. He's two races. He's white and he's black. Neither one, 50-50. Neither one beats each other one out. And he's like, no, you call him biracial. Well, what the hell do you think biracial means? Yes, I understand his point that, just because someone's half black doesn't mean they're all black. But just because someone sees a half black, white, and white person and says they're black, that doesn't mean that they think they're all black. So, I'm sure there's some racist people out there that do that one drop blood thing or whatever. But I'm sure that person is just thinking just like me. That, yeah, he's black, but he's also white. I mean, everyone knows what bi means. It means two. So anyways, let's get back to this. So they do test for trans people. I want to bring this up first. Everyone agrees, or it seems like it, that women think different than men. Okay? And you might say, well, yeah, I believe it too, but there's no proof. But yes, there is proof. There's tons and tons and tons of data and proof, okay? Okay. If you get a brain doctor, right, and you take 10 dead bodies, and you rip out their brains and throw the bodies away. So now the brains are sitting on a table. You can have a brain doctor go in and he'll tell you which brains came from a female and which brains came from a male. How do you think he does that if there's no difference between a male brain and a female brain? obviously there's a difference, because otherwise how would he be able to pick them out? You know what I mean? And and he can pick them out at very good, like 95% of the time he's going to be right. You know what I mean? 99% of the time he's right. It's like a really high percentage. Okay, so the reason why is because um, there is a cord between your brain is actually two hemispheres. Okay, and there's a cord that goes in between the two hemispheres. Okay, in a man, the cord is skinny and tiny, and in a woman, the cord is very thick and big. It's like this in a woman for the cord, like it's only the diameter of my finger for a man. You know what I mean? So, what that does, okay, is it makes the brain process information different. Just like if you have like an Android phone and you have a Windows phone, they operate different. They process information. They can do the same thing though, right? They can do the same stuff, but they do it differently. They process it differently. The information's processed differently. The icons are all different. Everything's different, but you get the same result. 2 plus 2 equals 4, no matter if you're on an Android or if you're on Windows. You know what I mean? So we can all agree that there's, and that's from like doing a looking inside the brain. You'd see that cord. But another thing is I'm not a geneticist, and this is information from like 30, 40 years ago, pretty much. But there are other ways to tell a difference. The cord is only like a big percentage or the biggest factor in finding out whether it's a male or female. There are actually two other ways. I can't remember what they are though. Maybe it was different secretions of chemicals in there or something. I don't know. Don't even, actually just forget that part. But there is at least one other thing that, it's not just this cord. This cord is just the biggest thing that tells you the difference between a male and a female brain. Okay, that's a fact. That's a fact. Now, do they go in and let's say I have a bunch of transsexuals? Are they going to be able to find out which ones are which? No, it's about 75%. 75% of the time, they will pick out they will have a brain that was biologically male, the body, and they say, this is a female. They're like, nope. And it ends up that person is a transsexual 75% of the time. All right. It's 25% of the time they can't, they'll think it's a male brain. Okay. Even though it's a transsexual woman, brain. So that's a high 75%. That's actually a very high rate that tells me something. Okay. So that tells me that a woman and a man's brain processes information different. They are two different things that you can differentiate the different, between the two, right? That's science. That's fact. Everything I said so far is fact. Here's just a little FYI, because this comes back a couple of times. All babies start off being female. All babies. All babies. You start out with a cell after cell after cell after cell. Obviously the first cell, you're not a baby. You're not a female or male, meaning with your parts. You start out with the same exact parts until you build up the body, and then you can start deciding which is it, female or is it male. And your chromosomes will obviously, here comes a train, but your chromosomes will determine, oh jeez,